because you can go into professional football, you can go anywhere you want to play after you leave here. You will never play for a team again. You'll play for a contract, you'll play for this, you'll play for that, you'll play for everything except the team. And think what a great thing it is to be a part of something that is the team.
Hello, and welcome to the special edition of SportsCentaur. Today, we are focusing on the impact of sports in society. Specifically, is there a usefulness to the uselessness of sports? One of our analysts, Colby Collier, has gone out in the field and interviewed multiple college athletes, as well as fans throughout the University of Michigan. He was also able to meet with a foreign exchange student and members of the Michigan Marching Band. In this special edition, we hope to talk about the importance of fans, the role of sports in college lives, and the difference between work and play. Throughout this edition, you will see various video clips highlighting both the importance of fans and the importance of athletics in our society. You will meet other analysts throughout the show who will discuss the interviews in more depth and their relation to political theory. We hope you enjoy this special edition of SportsCentaur. Forever and always, go blue.
Hi there. In Homo Ludens, Huizinga discusses a broad array of topics, but we will focus on the idea of seriousness versus play. Huizinga discusses the idea that play precedes culture, and animals, as well as humans, play. He goes on to question whether we can say that seriousness is in fact the opposite of play. This is very important to our project, as one of the questions we ask is whether or not sports can still be considered play. If play is defined as non-seriousness, as Huizinga suggests, then you can argue that sports, at some level, are no longer play. One of the reasons we interviewed athletes of different levels is because we expected to see a difference in their answers. A student playing at the intramural level does it purely for the enjoyment of the game, while varsity athletes play with the stress of a scholarship riding on their ability to play at high levels. This leads them to often think of their sport as a possible career path. Varsity athletes clearly have more on the line, and so it would be natural for them to see the game as more of a serious thing. Colby?
Would you consider your role in sports to be more of a job or a hobby?
Wrestling is considered more of a hobby for me. I decided to come to college for wrestling. I wasn't forced to come to college for wrestling. I didn't apply for a job. I applied to come here and do something that I love doing.
Not necessarily a job because we're not really getting compensated for what we do, but I definitely think I'm playing for something much more than just being a football player at the university. You know, I have goals that go beyond this university, and so what I'm doing now is just a stepping stone to help me reach those goals.
I mean, a little bit of both, but to be honest, it definitely has the requirements of a job. And I think that I work hard. I consider myself, whenever I go on away football games, I consider it as a business trip, not a vacation. So I'm strictly focused on my goal. I mean, I love what I do. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for football. I love playing football, and I'm happy. Call it a job if you want to, but it's a job I want to have.
Probably trending more toward a hobby. I see it as an extracurricular. I have fun. I have a lot of friends that I've made in both bands, and it's definitely, at times it can be a little taxing, but it's definitely more of a fun extracurricular type of thing that I wouldn't consider it a job.
Oh, why hello there. In A. Bartlett Giamatti's novel, Take Time for Paradise, he discusses the important role that fans play when it comes to sport in America. Giamatti believes that fans are the true reason people can look at sports as a religion. He introduces his argument by saying, quote, "If there is a true religious quality to sport, then it lies first in the intensity of devotion brought by the true believer, or the fan." He focuses particularly on American sports, because here in America, we seem to be especially devoted to our favorite teams and athletes. Giamatti says, "When we watch a contest or sport, and internalize the deep fact that this is an activity that has no ultimate consequence, no later outcome, no real effect beyond itself, We invest in it with tremendous significance because in this world of history and work and endless tangled consequence, to have no real consequence or sequel is such a rare event. This quote right there pretty much sums it all up. Even though we know that a game has no real life value, we still watch and deeply care because we so rarely get the opportunity in life to invest in something that has no real value. The idea of being a sports fan is deeply rooted in American culture, as Giamatti argues in his novel, and our interviews prove that point. The people we interviewed are passionate about Michigan athletics, just as in America, where fandom runs deep. Colby, take it away.
What role do fans have in sports?
I think the worth comes a lot from each perspective because the teams, I know the teams definitely find being out there a lot more worthwhile when there are people who they are playing for. I think we do have a noticeable involvement in the game. We love both teams. We're very passionate about both programs and very involved in all of them. And both teams have a noticeably better success record at home.
Just all the stuff during the game, especially in football, they don't play most of the time. What's going on is just, the environment you're feeling around you, cheers that students will start. The noise, it's all the fans.
Fans are very important for sports. Wrestling, I won't say we probably don't have as many fans as, football, but the fans play a great role. Like, without the fans, you're just out there playing the game.
Bo Schembechler once famously said, "The team, the team, the team." Think of what a great thing it is to be a part of the team. In class, we've read a lot about the concepts presented by Trollope and the role sports play in society and personal identification. Trollope argues that sports bring our community closer together and unites us under a single banner, no matter what our differences are. When we think of characteristics that make us up, we think of our personal identification. For instance, I'm Canadian. Cheering for a football team with as much intensity as a hockey game is a foreign concept for me. However, I'm also a Wolverine. When we as fans go to sporting events, we show our pride and do everything in our power to help bring victory to our fellow Wolverines. We chant, "It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine," and we recite "Hail to the Victors," as we stand united, wearing only maize and blue. We have here with us today many fellow Wolverines, both fans and athletes, who share their perspective of what it means to be a Wolverine, and the way that we are personally affected, and how great it is to be a part of the team.
What role do sports play in society?
Well, my first game, I think it was a football game during welcome week, and you can just feel how sports help the students and everybody to connect to college as an institution itself. So in Germany, it's rather, you go to college and it's kind of an educational thing, and here's a community thing as well.
I think there's a spotlight around sports stars. They can do certain things that your common person can do. You definitely have a lot of little kids who look up to you, so you got an image to protect. I think it gives inspirations to kids who come from similar situations as you to see what you're doing and where you're from, and give them this hope that maybe one day they can do the same. So I think it plays a big role in our society nowadays.
I think a lot of it is pure entertainment, obviously, because it's everyone's fantasy to be a professional athlete as a kid. How many times does everyone say, "Oh, my hero was Sammy Sosa," or "I want to be Derek Jeter," or something like that. And you don't really grow out of that. There's still some magic to going to any sporting event. When you're just a fan, and it is one of the biggest spending outlets for entertainment, I guess, like behind movies and music in America alone, just because it's so commercialized. But I don't think that takes away anything from the effort that everyone's putting into it, and the fun that even the athletes are still having.
Is there a usefulness to the uselessness of sports?
That's definitely an interesting paradoxical way to look at it, but I think it's definitely useful. First and foremost, I think Like, if you got every Saturday, there's 110,000 fans in Michigan Stadium. Like, think of any event that brings the whole community together. All of Ann Arbor, everyone around, just comes and screams and roots for a common cause, and that's pretty special. It doesn't happen all the time. Also, I think for the athletes, a lot of them, it gives them a lot of usefulness in their life, because a lot of them are coming from neighborhoods where that's giving them an opportunity that they wouldn't have elsewhere. And also, I think from the fans' perspective, a lot of them have used it as a way to get away from their lives and think about something else and live intrinsically through the players and the team.
Everything that you do in life when you're not working is what defines it. And, when you can make either a career out of sports or, you can go to school for sports or anything, that's an awesome catalyst to do more in your life, even if it's just that you want to keep playing for fun. If it allows you to travel or make a great group of friends, that's a great thing to do, and I encourage everyone to do it.
Yeah, some people are really into it, so their club is their whole life and everything, and they get connected with their club. So I can agree to a certain extent to it.
We'd like to take this moment to thank all the athletes and fans that have taken time out of their day to help make this special edition as great as it was. Through this edition of SportsCentaur, we've presented ideals discussed by Trala, Giamatti, and Huizinga. We are proud to have conveyed such ideals that are ingrained deeply in our society. Although sports don't have any real effect on the outside world, we do believe that there is a usefulness to the uselessness of sports, in the way that so many people can be greatly affected by the atmosphere that is sport. Sports play a big role in the University of Michigan's identity, and thus play a big role in all of our lives. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. You stay classy, Wolverines. Centaurs out.